Admiral Corvus of the Ladosian fleet sneered at the primitive Earth vessels on his view screen. His massive warships had entered the Sol system, expecting an easy conquest, but the sight before him was almost comical. "Look at those pathetic excuses for spacecraft," he scoffed, addressing his bridge crew. "The humans think they can defend themselves with these relics." The Ladosian crew erupted in laughter, their confidence bolstered by the apparent technological gap between their advanced civilization and the supposedly primitive Earthlings. Little did they know, their derision was about to turn into shock and disbelief. Aboard the Earth Fleet's flagship, Joshua Parker, the brilliant engineer behind humanity's secret defense initiative, allowed himself a small smile. Years of covert development and strategic misdirection were about to pay off. With a nod to his captain, Joshua activated the fleet's true capabilities. In an instant, the seemingly outdated Earth vessels shimmered and transformed. Advanced cloaking technology deactivated, revealing a vast armada of sleek, cutting-edge warships. The Ladosian bridge fell silent as their sensors detected energy signatures far beyond their own technological level. Admiral Corvus's mandibles clicked in agitation. "Impossible," he muttered, his earlier bravado evaporating. "All ships, battle stations, prepare to engage." But the surprises weren't over. Joshua triggered Earth's planetary defense grid, a network of orbital platforms that quickly generated an impenetrable energy shield around the planet. The Ladosian invasion force found itself caught between the hammer of Earth's formidable fleet and the anvil of its planetary defenses. Joshua opened a communication channel to the Ladosian flagship. His voice, calm and resolute, echoed through the alien vessel. "Admiral Corvus, this is Joshua Parker of Earth's Defense Force. We are prepared to defend ourselves against any aggression. I offer you this one chance to retreat peacefully. Otherwise, you will face the full might of humanity's technological prowess." The Admiral's pride, however, wouldn't allow him to back down. With a snarl, he ordered his fleet to attack. The space around Earth erupted into a frenzy of energy beams and explosive ordnance. Earth's fleet moved with unprecedented agility, their ships dancing between Ladosian volleys with ease. Joshua's innovative designs proved far superior, incorporating advanced energy weapons and tactical AI systems that consistently outmaneuvered the alien vessels. As the battle raged, it became clear that this conflict would determine humanity's place in the galactic community. Would they be seen as easy prey, ripe for conquest, or would they emerge as a new power to be reckoned with? Joshua gripped his console, his mind racing with calculations and strategies. He knew that the outcome of this battle would shape the future of human civilization. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath as humanity fought to prove its worth among the cosmos. The Ladosians had laughed at Earth's seemingly pathetic fleet, but now they faced the consequences of their arrogance. Humanity, with its ingenuity and determination, stood ready to show the galaxy that appearances could be deceiving, and that underestimating Earth would be a costly mistake. The vastness of space erupted into a chaotic display of energy beams and explosive ordnance as Earth's fleet engaged the Ladosian invaders. Joshua Parker's fingers flew across his console, coordinating the movements of humanity's ships with precision. The battle had begun in earnest, and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. Admiral Corvus, his earlier bravado shattered, barked orders from his command chair. "Concentrate fire on their orbital platforms. We must break through their defenses." The Ladosian fleet responded, their weapons converging on Earth's defense grid. Brilliant flashes of light marked the impacts as several platforms succumbed to the onslaught. Alarms blared throughout Joshua's ship as the planetary shield flickered, gaps appearing in its protective embrace. "Divert Squadrons 3 and 4 to protect the exposed areas," Joshua commanded, his voice steady despite the dire situation. "The rest of the fleet, press the attack. We can't let them breach our defenses." As Earth's ships maneuvered to cover the vulnerabilities, a sleek Ladosian scout ship slipped through one of the gaps. Its pilot, Zarak, expertly navigated the craft into Earth's atmosphere, evading detection amidst the chaos of battle. The scout ship streaked across the sky, leaving a trail of superheated air in its wake. Zarak fought against the turbulence as he sought a suitable landing site. The ship bucked and shuddered, systems failing as it plummeted towards the ground. With a bone-jarring impact, the craft crashed into a remote forest, trees splintering under the force of the collision. Zarak extracted himself from the wreckage, his alien form moving with fluid grace despite the rough landing. He activated a cloaking device, rendering himself nearly invisible to human eyes. With determined steps, he set out to complete his mission, sabotaging Earth's defense systems from within. Back in orbit, Admiral Corvus watched the battle unfold with growing desperation. His mighty fleet, once poised for an easy conquest, now struggled against the surprisingly formidable Earth defenses. With a snarl, he made a fateful decision. "Prepare the Worldbreaker," he ordered, his voice cold. "It's time to show these humans the true might of the Ladosian Empire." A massive energy cannon extended from the underside of the Ladosian flagship, its barrel longer than some of the smaller ships in the fleet. As it began to charge, Joshua's sensors lit up with warnings. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "we're detecting an enormous power buildup from the enemy flagship. Whatever that weapon is, it has the potential to destroy the entire planet." Joshua's mind raced, analyzing potential strategies. Time was of the essence. They needed to neutralize that weapon before it could fire. He opened a channel to Earth's most decorated pilot. "Captain Stone, I need you and your best pilots for a critical mission," Joshua said, his tone grave. "That cannon must be destroyed at all costs." Captain Marcus Stone's voice crackled over the comm. "Understood, sir. Wolf Squadron is ready to deploy." "We're mobilizing all available defenses planetside," Hayes reported. "I've also dispatched Major Chen and her team to track down that crashed alien ship. We can't risk any infiltrators compromising our systems." Joshua nodded, though Hayes couldn't see him. "Good, we'll handle things up here. Earth is counting on all of us." The space around the Ladosian flagship became a frenzy of activity as Wolf Squadron engaged. Smaller Ladosian craft swarmed to protect their superweapon, resulting in a furious dogfight. Plasma bolts and energy beams crisscrossed the void, punctuated by the occasional explosion of a destroyed fighter. His fighters fell into formation, pushing towards their target. Ladosian defenses intensified, and one by one Stone's pilots fell to enemy fire. Still they pressed on, drawing ever closer to the massive energy cannon. On Earth's surface, Major Sarah Chen led her team through dense forest, tracking the energy signature of the crashed Ladosian ship. The faint beep of her sensor grew more insistent as they approached the impact site. "Stay alert," Chen whispered to her squad. "Our target is likely still in the area." Unknown to them, Zarak was already miles away, having located a secondary control node for Earth's defense grid. The Ladosian infiltrator worked swiftly, his alien fingers dancing across the human interface as he attempted to shut down the remaining orbital platforms. In orbit, Joshua's flagship rocked with a near miss from a Ladosian cruiser. He steadied himself against his console, watching as Captain Stone's squadron dwindled under the relentless assault. The energy readings from the Worldbreaker cannon spiked ominously. Joshua made a split-second decision. Helm set course for the Ladosian flagship, full speed. His crew looked at him in shock but quickly moved to comply. The massive Earth vessel turned, engines flaring as it accelerated towards the heart of the enemy fleet. "All hands brace for impact," Joshua announced shipwide. "We're buying Captain Stone the time he needs." As Joshua's ship hurtled towards its target, Marcus Stone finally broke through the Ladosian defenses. His fighter, battered and scarred from the intense battle, approached the glowing maw of the Worldbreaker cannon. Stone's sensors analyzed the weapon, and his heart sank as he realized the truth. "Control, this is Stone. The cannon's too heavily shielded. We can't destroy it from out here." "There's only one way to stop this thing," he said, more to himself than anyone else. "It's been an honor serving with you all." Before anyone could respond, Stone's fighter dove straight for the cannon's charging chamber. The Ladosian weapon's glow intensified, ready to unleash its planet-killing blast. In that moment, everything hung in the balance. Stone's sacrificial gambit, Joshua's flagship on its collision course, and on the surface, Major Chen's team closing in on Zarak's position. The fate of humanity would be decided in the next few seconds, as heroes on the ground and in space fought to protect their home against overwhelming odds. The vastness of space erupted into a blinding flash as Joshua's flagship collided with the Ladosian command ship. The impact sent shockwaves through both fleets, scattering ships and momentarily disrupting communications. In the chaos, Captain Marcus Stone seized his opportunity. With laser-like focus, Stone guided his battered fighter towards the gaping maw of the Worldbreaker cannon. The weapon's charging chamber pulsed with an ominous light, ready to unleash devastation upon Earth. Stone's hands tightened on the controls as he pushed his engines beyond their limits. The resulting explosion tore through the Ladosian flagship, ripping apart its hull and sending debris hurtling in all directions. The superweapon, once poised to obliterate an entire planet, now crumbled into twisted metal and dissipating energy. Aboard a nearby Earth vessel, Joshua Parker regained consciousness, his head throbbing from the impact of the collision. He blinked, disoriented, as medics swarmed around him. "Sir, the Ladosian flagship is crippled," a young officer reported, helping Joshua to his feet. "Captain Stone, he did it. The Worldbreaker is destroyed." Joshua nodded grimly, a mix of relief and sorrow washing over him. He limped to the bridge, waving off concerned crew members. "Patch me through to the fleet. We need to press our advantage." On the display, the battle unfolded in vibrant detail. Earthships, emboldened by the destruction of the Ladosian superweapon, surged forward with renewed vigor. Joshua's mind raced, formulating strategies to capitalize on their newfound momentum. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, Major Sarah Chen led her team through the dense forest, closing in on their target. The crashed Ladosian scout ship lay in a clearing ahead, its hull still smoking from atmospheric entry. "Movement 2 o'clock," whispered Corporal Rodriguez, her enhanced optics scanning the tree line. Chen signaled her team to take cover, as a shimmer in the air betrayed the presence of their cloaked quarry. Zarak, the Ladosian infiltrator, darted between the trees with inhuman grace. The forest erupted into a storm of energy bolts as Chen's team engaged the alien intruder. Zarak returned fire, his advanced weaponry scorching the earth and vaporizing entire trees. Chen rolled to avoid a blast, the heat searing her uniform. She came up firing, her shots forcing Zarak into a defensive posture. The alien retreated towards a small device on his belt, a hidden beacon. Time seemed to slow as Chen realized the infiltrator's intent. If that beacon transmitted Earth's defense information to the Ladosian fleet, all their efforts would be for naught. She raised her rifle, exhaling slowly as she lined up the shot. A single energy pulse leapt from Chen's weapon, streaking across the clearing. It struck the beacon just as Zarak's fingers brushed its activation switch. The device exploded in a shower of sparks, and the alien howled in frustration. "Target neutralized," Chen reported into her comm, keeping her rifle trained on the now disarmed infiltrator. Earth's defense grid remained secure. Massive energy beams lanced upward from hidden installations across Earth's surface, catching the Ladosian fleet in a devastating crossfire. Ships that had weathered the orbital assault now found themselves battered from below, their shields failing under the relentless barrage. Admiral Corvus, his once mighty flagship now a drifting hulk, snarled orders to his remaining officers. "Form a defensive sphere around the command ship. We can still salvage this operation." The Ladosian fleet contracted, forming a tight ball of ships with their weapons pointed outward. It was a risky move, but one that momentarily stymied the Earth force's advance. Joshua, now fully in command of Earth's fleet from his new flagship, studied the tactical display with intense concentration. A plan formed in his mind, bold and risky, but with the potential to end the battle decisively. "All ships, this is Admiral Parker," he announced, his earlier injuries forgotten in the heat of command. "Execute Maneuver Triton. I repeat, execute Maneuver Triton." Earth's fleet split into 3 distinct groups with practiced precision. The first continued to engage the Ludosians head-on, keeping their attention focused forward. The second and third groups peeled away, using the cover of debris and disabled ships to circle around the enemy formation. As the pincer movement developed, a new threat emerged from the Ludosian sphere. Swarms of small, agile craft poured forth, combat drones armed with energy weapons that crackled with destructive power. "All fighter squadrons, intercept those drones," Joshua ordered, his fingers dancing across his console as he adjusted their strategy on the fly. "Cruisers, provide supporting fire, but watch your targets. Those things are small and fast." The space around Earth became a frenetic light show as fighters and drones clashed in high-speed duels. Larger ships exchanged salvos of energy weapons and missiles, while the ground-based ion cannons continued their relentless assault from below. Earth's edge in artificial intelligence became apparent as their ships coordinated with inhuman precision. Fighters wove complex patterns through the battlefield, herding Ludosian drones into the firing solutions of larger vessels. Every move was calculated, each ship acting as part of a greater whole. Admiral Corvus watched in growing despair as his fleet was slowly but inexorably torn apart. Earth ships had penetrated his defensive formation, striking at the vulnerable inner vessels. His own flagship, once the pride of the Ludosian armada, now drifted powerless, its systems failing one by one. As the battle reached its crescendo, a new alert sounded on Joshua's bridge. The tactical officer's voice was tense as he reported, "Sir, long-range sensors are picking up a new group of ships entering the system. Origin unknown, they're on an intercept course." Joshua's mind raced. Friend or foe? A potential ally or yet another threat to Earth's survival? He had mere minutes to assess the situation and adjust his strategy accordingly. "Maintain pressure on the Ludosian fleet," he ordered, his voice steady despite the uncertainty. "But detach Beta Squadron to investigate these newcomers. Let's find out what we're dealing with." As Beta Squadron moved to intercept the unknown ships, the battle for Earth hung in the balance. The Ludosians fought with the desperation of a cornered animal, while Earth's forces pressed their advantage with unwavering dedication. And beyond the immediate conflict, an unknown factor approached, one that could tip the scales decisively in either direction. Joshua Parker stood at the center of it all, coordinating humanity's defense with every ounce of his considerable intellect. The next few moments would determine not just the outcome of this battle, but the future of humanity among the stars. Joshua's eyes narrowed as he studied the tactical display, his mind racing to process this new development. The unknown ships approached swiftly, their sleek designs unlike anything he had encountered before. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the lead vessel," his communications officer reported. "Put it through," Joshua ordered, straightening his posture despite the lingering pain from his injuries. A holographic image flickered to life, revealing a being with iridescent skin and large, multifaceted eyes. "I am Ambassador Krelthar of the Galactic Confederation," the alien announced, its voice resonating with a musical quality. "We come to mediate this conflict and prevent further loss of life." Joshua's mind raced, quickly analyzing the situation. The Galactic Confederation, he had heard whispers of their existence, but never expected to encounter them firsthand. This could change everything. "This is Admiral Joshua Parker of Earth," he responded, keeping his voice steady. "We welcome your intervention, Ambassador." Krelthar nodded, his crystalline eyes reflecting the light of nearby explosions. "We request an immediate cessation of hostilities from both sides. Our ships will position themselves between your fleets to facilitate negotiations." Joshua didn't hesitate. "All Earth vessels, this is Admiral Parker. Cease fire immediately, but maintain defensive positions." He watched as his fleet complied, energy weapons powering down and fighters forming protective screens around larger ships. The Ludosian response, however, was far from cooperative. Admiral Corvus's voice crackled over the open channel, filled with rage and paranoia. "This is a trick. The humans have allied with these newcomers to destroy us." Joshua watched in horror as the remaining Ludosian ships surged forward. unleashing a barrage of weapons fire at both Earth and Confederation vessels. The space between the fleets lit up with energy beams and explosions. But the Confederation ships remained unscathed. Their hulls shimmered with an advanced energy field, effortlessly deflecting the Ledosian assault. Ambassador Krelthar's voice rang out once more, tinged with disappointment. "Admiral Corvus, your actions leave us no choice. We will assist Earth in subduing your forces." The battle shifted dramatically as the Confederation fleet engaged. Their weapons were like nothing Joshua had ever seen, beams of pure energy that seemed to phase through Ledosian shields, disabling ships without destroying them. Earth vessels, emboldened by their new allies, pressed forward with renewed vigor. Admiral Corvus's flagship, already crippled from the earlier fighting, began to list heavily to one side. Joshua's tactical officer called out, "Sir, we're detecting a small craft launching from the Ledosian command ship, likely an escape pod." Joshua allowed himself a grim smile. "Exactly as we anticipated. Activate the EMP minefield." Moments later, a brilliant flash of blue-white energy engulfed Corvus's escape pod. The small craft went dark, tumbling end over end through space. As the last pockets of Ledosian resistance crumbled, Joshua turned his attention to a more pressing matter. "What's the status on Captain Stone?" he asked, his voice tight with concern. His sensor officer's eyes widened in surprise. "Sir, we're picking up a faint life sign in the debris field, where his fighter impacted the Worldbreaker cannon. It's weak, but it's there." As the rescue operation commenced, Ambassador Krelthar's image reappeared on the holographic display. "Admiral Parker, your restraint in the face of provocation was admirable. The Galactic Confederation would like to invite you and your leadership aboard our flagship for diplomatic talks." Joshua nodded, a mix of exhaustion and excitement coursing through him. "We would be honored, Ambassador. Allow me to confer with my ground forces first." He opened a channel to Earth. "Major Chen, what's your status?" Sarah Chen's voice came through, slightly breathless but triumphant. "Target secured, sir. The Ledosian infiltrator is in custody, and we've prevented any data breach of our defense systems." "Excellent work, Major," Joshua replied. "Begin interrogation immediately. Any intel we can gather on Ledosian tech and strategies could be crucial." With the immediate threats neutralized, Joshua prepared for his meeting with the Confederation. He selected a small team, including General Ethan Hayes, to accompany him. As they boarded the shuttle to the Confederation flagship, Joshua caught sight of the rescue team returning, a single stasis pod held carefully in their grip. Joshua nodded, a lump forming in his throat. "Captain Marcus Stone, despite the challenges, he survived. Get him to our most advanced medical facility immediately." Aboard the Confederation flagship, Joshua marveled at the alien technology surrounding them. Ambassador Krelthar greeted them personally, his iridescent skin shifting colors in a mesmerizing display. "Admiral Parker, General Hayes," the ambassador began, "we have been observing Earth for some time. Your species' resilience and ingenuity in the face of this invasion have convinced us that humanity is ready to join the greater galactic community." Joshua seized the opportunity. "Ambassador, we are grateful for your intervention and honored by your words. Earth would be eager to discuss the possibility of joining the Galactic Confederation." As negotiations proceeded, Joshua leveraged humanity's demonstrated capabilities, from their advanced AI integration to their tactical prowess. Ambassador Krelthar seemed particularly impressed by Earth's ability to reverse engineer and improve upon alien technology. Hours passed as they hammered out the details of Earth's potential membership. Joshua's diplomatic skills were put to the test, but he found an unexpected ally in General Hayes, whose straightforward approach seemed to resonate with the Confederation representatives. Meanwhile, on Earth, celebrations erupted as news of the victory spread. Crowds gathered in cities worldwide, cheering and embracing as they watched footage of the Confederation ships in orbit. The dawn of a new era had arrived, with humanity poised to take its place among the stars. As the diplomatic talks concluded, Joshua received an update from Earth. Captain Marcus Stone had been stabilized and was expected to make a full recovery. The intel gathered from the captured Ladosian infiltrator was already yielding valuable insights into their technology and military doctrine. Joshua allowed himself a moment of pride, but he knew the real work was just beginning. As he prepared to return to Earth with the preliminary agreement for Confederation membership, he couldn't shake a nagging feeling of unease. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage, but at what cost? And what new challenges awaited them in this vast, complex universe? He pushed these thoughts aside as he boarded the shuttle back to his flagship. There would be time for contemplation later. For now, Earth needed its leaders to guide them through this monumental transition. Joshua squared his shoulders, ready to face whatever the future might hold. As Joshua prepared to disembark from the Confederation flagship, his comm unit chimed urgently. Dr. Elise Rourke, Chief Medical Officer of Earth's primary research hospital, appeared on the small screen. "Admiral Parker, you need to see this," she said, her eyes wide with excitement. "It's about Captain Stone." Joshua's heart raced. "Is he all right?" "More than all right," Dr. Rourke replied. "His recovery is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like it." Within minutes, Joshua was aboard a shuttle racing back to Earth, his mind churning with possibilities. Ambassador Krelthar, intrigued by the doctor's cryptic message, accompanied him. The medical facility buzzed with activity as Joshua and Krelthar entered. Dr. Rourke led them to an observation room overlooking a large chamber. Inside, Captain Marcus Stone stood shirtless, surrounded by an array of diagnostic equipment. A robotic arm extended from the wall, its tip glowing red-hot. It pressed against Stone's forearm, leaving an angry burn. Joshua winced, but before he could protest, the burn began to fade. Within seconds, it had disappeared entirely, leaving unblemished skin. Joshua turned to the ambassador. Could it be related to the energy released when the Worldbreaker cannon was destroyed? Krelthar nodded slowly. "It's possible. The combination of Ladosian technology and your own weapons systems could have created an unknown form of radiation." Over the next few hours, Joshua and Krelthar discussed the implications of this discovery. By the time they emerged from their meeting, a plan had been set in motion. A joint Human Confederation research team would be formed to study Captain Stone's condition and explore its potential applications. Months flew by as Earth underwent a rapid transformation. The influx of alien technology, combined with humanity's innate drive to innovate, led to breakthroughs across every field of science and industry. Joshua found himself at the forefront of these changes, working tirelessly to adapt the new technologies for peaceful purposes. He oversaw projects ranging from atmospheric scrubbers that accelerated the healing of Earth's damaged ozone layer to nanobots that could eliminate pollution from the world's oceans. One crisp autumn morning, Joshua stood on the launch pad of the newly constructed New Horizons Space Center. Before him towered the sleek form of the starship Phoenix, Earth's first official interstellar exploration vessel. A crowd of thousands had gathered to witness the historic moment. Captain Marcus Stone, resplendent in his new uniform, approached Joshua with a confident stride. His enhanced physiology had been carefully monitored over the past months, revealing no negative side effects. "Admiral," Stone said, saluting sharply, "the Phoenix is ready for her maiden voyage." As Stone boarded the Phoenix with his mixed crew of human and Confederation scientists, Joshua couldn't help but marvel at how far they'd come in such a short time. The launch was flawless, the Phoenix rising on a pillar of blue flame before engaging its faster-than-light drive. The assembled crowd cheered as the ship vanished in a flash of light, bound for the far reaches of the galaxy. Even as Earth celebrated this milestone, other crucial work continued. In a secure facility beneath the Pentagon, Major Sarah Chen sat across from Zarak, the captured Ladosian infiltrator. Months of interrogation had yielded a wealth of valuable intelligence. Zarak's mandibles clicked nervously. They are not to be trifled with. Even the Ladosian Empire gave their territory a wide berth. Chen leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "Why?" As Zarak detailed the Kroll Imperium's vast fleets and planet-killing weaponry, Chen's fingers flew across her datapad, recording every word. This information would prove invaluable as Earth established its own diplomatic corps and navigated the complex web of galactic politics. 1 year to the day after the Ledosian invasion, Earth played host to the Galactic Confederation's annual summit. The event marked humanity's official induction into the Interstellar Alliance. Representatives from 100 alien species filled the newly constructed Unity Dome in Geneva. Their diverse forms a testament to the vastness and variety of life in the universe. Joshua Parker, now serving as Earth's ambassador to the Confederation, took the stage for the summit's keynote address. The chamber fell silent as he began to speak. "Distinguished delegates, honored guests, fellow sentients," Joshua said, his voice carrying to every corner of the vast hall. 1 year ago, Earth stood on the brink of annihilation. Today, we stand among you as partners, as friends, as fellow explorers of the cosmic ocean. A ripple of approval passed through the audience. Joshua continued, building to his grand finale. "It is my great pleasure to unveil humanity's latest contribution to our shared future," he said, gesturing to a holographic display that sprang to life behind him. "Behold, the Alcubierre-Chen Drive, a revolutionary propulsion system that will usher in a new era of faster-than-light travel." The hologram showed a sleek engine core pulsing with energy. As Joshua explained the principles behind the drive, a combination of human theoretical physics and advanced alien technology, the assembled delegates murmured in excitement. As the summit drew to a close, Joshua received an unexpected message. Admiral Corvus, the former Ledosian commander, now held as a prisoner of the Confederation, had requested an audience. Intrigued, Joshua agreed to meet him, asking Captain Stone, recently returned from his first successful mission, and Major Chen to join him. The meeting took place in a secure room within the Unity Dome. Corvus, his once proud bearing now subdued, regarded the three humans with a mixture of curiosity and resignation. "I must know," Corvus said, his translator struggling to convey the complex emotions in his voice. "How did you do it? How did a species we dismissed as primitive manage to defeat us so thoroughly?" Joshua exchanged glances with his companions before responding. "Perhaps that dismissal was our greatest advantage, Admiral. You underestimated our capacity to adapt, to innovate, to unite in the face of overwhelming odds." Corvus nodded slowly. "The Ledosian Empire grew complacent, arrogant. We stopped pushing ourselves, content in our perceived superiority. It was our downfall." As the meeting concluded, Joshua stood at the room's large window, gazing out at the transformed skyline of Geneva. Sleek skyscrapers mingled with elegant alien architecture, while ships of various designs crisscrossed the sky. Captain Stone joined him at the window. "Quite a view, isn't it, sir?" Joshua nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Indeed it is, Marcus, and to think this is just the beginning." Joshua turned to face his trusted colleagues, his expression thoughtful. "Excellent work, both of you. It seems our adventures in this new galactic community are just the beginning." As the sun began to set, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and purple, Joshua couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. Humanity had taken its first confident steps onto the galactic stage, but countless challenges and opportunities still lay ahead. The universe, vast and mysterious, beckoned to them, promising new horizons and untold discoveries. With renewed purpose, Joshua and his team set off to prepare for the next phase of Earth's journey among the stars. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity was ready to face whatever the cosmos might throw their way. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.